to you doing the watch, and it's time for the news at 12. Coming up, government revokes appointment of Minerals Income Investment Fund CEO Edward Nana Yaw Cranton. Energy Minister Designate John Jinapor announces government will not engage in sole sourcing for ECG private sector participation. And on the international arena, Nigerian military kills 16 civilians in airstrike. This and many more we have coming up in the bulletin. My name is Nana Amma Nyamike Baini. Now the news in detail. President John Mahama has cancelled Edward Nana Yaw Cranton's appointment as CEO of the Minerals Income Investment Fund. In a letter dated Monday, January 13, Mr. Cranton was told to and pass over the job to Dr. Ato Forson, the next finance minister designate. MIIF's mandate is to optimize the value of the country's mineral wealth incomes for the benefit of its population. It is in charge of monetizing the Republic's mining income in a responsible, transparent, accountable, and long-term manner, as well as designing and implementing steps to decrease the Republic's budgetary vulnerability to mineral income variations. The Energy Minister Designate John Abdullahi Jinapor has stated that private sector involvement in electricity distribution is necessary to eliminate inefficiencies and improve service performance. During his vetting before Parliament Appointment Committee, Jinapor described his idea for a collaborative approach that combines public supervision with private sector experience. He stated that the sector's aggregate technical, commercial, and collection losses are currently at 40%, with 23% attributable to technical losses and the remainder to commercial inefficiencies.
We believe there should be private sector participation. What we intend to do is to form a 7-member committee chaired by technical experts, legal experts, financial experts, and some industry players, and even somebody from the consumer side. What we want them to do is to get us a framework, looking at best practices. Would the concession approach work or a full privatization work? We will stay off as politicians, let them get a framework in a more transparent, open, frank manner. Then when we get a buy-in of Ghanaians, then we can set the standards using an RFQ, an RFP, and then a competitive tender process. Let me make this clear. We are not going to do sole sourcing when it comes to the ECG private sector participation. Competitive tender process with some element of private sector participation using local content, and then we set the KPIs.
Away from that, former South African President Jacob Zuma has expressed concern about the declining quality of leadership on the African continent, warning that it jeopardizes the region's potential for growth and development. In an interview with Bernard Avle on Channel 1 TV's The Point of View, Mr. Zuma highlighted weak government as a major impediment to Africa's advancement. He said that a lack of leadership continues to impede efforts to solve fundamental challenges such as poverty, inequality, corruption, and underdevelopment. Mr. Zuma commended Ghana's President John Dramani Mahama as an example of the type of leadership Africa requires. He applauded Mahama's re-election in 2024, calling it a move in the right way for Ghana and a model for the continent.
Knowing him, knowing his views, what he is capable of doing, and if he won, I was very happy. To me, indicated that Africans are beginning to look at the elections differently, to see the Ghanaians, whether they were as happy as the South Africans are happy now. And I found them so happy. What has been important with him is that he was not just saying, I want to be the leader. He was saying, I want to change the manner in which things have been happening. And I think he articulated that quite at length in his speech yesterday. What are the things that he thinks must be done? And that's what we want to do and move further than where we are now. issues that are happening in Africa now, which if it was still at some point, Africa would be on its feet, would be there to say what is happening, to try to help and do whatever. It's no longer the same.
Now, away from that, following the reopening of basic schools on Wednesday, January 8, 2025, the Ghana School Feeding Program has directed all existing caterers to continue serving nutritious meals to students across the country. In a press statement published by the National Coordinator, the GSFP underlined its commitment to ensuring the initiative's success in conjunction with the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. The Electricity Company of Ghana has announced the launch of Operation Keep the Lights On from January 15 to January 31, 2025 in all its operational territories. The effort intends to collect areas, audit prepaid meters, and enforce disconnection restrictions. ECG stressed that self-reconnection is forbidden, citing Legislative Instrument 2413, and asked clients to completely cooperate with the exercise. During this time, ECG's regional and district officers will provide just the most basic service in order to prioritize the operation. The business reiterated its commitment to legally assessing installations and urged the public to support its efforts to maintain efficient service delivery. Now, away from that, a delegation from the overlord of Dagbon, Yana Mahama Abukari, has ordered the closure of St. Vicente College of Education office due to a disagreement over the appointment of a new principal for the university. The previous principal of the college just retired, necessitating the search of a successor, while Yana Mahama Abukari nominated a candidate for the position. The school board chose a different individual in response. Al-Hassan Abdul Fattah, registrar of the Dagbon Traditional Council, instructed the college's personnel and management to lock the offices and vacate the premises until further notice. Fattah claimed that the board's decision to disregard the overlord's suggestion was a gesture of contempt, warranting the closure of the college's office. Now we go for a short commercial break. When we come back, it's business news.
Hey there, welcome to Radio Unibe 98.3 FM. Seated right in front of you is Ampon Bismarck, so for short, Ampon B. Here we say we are the ultimate in campus radio. I entreat you all to be listening to Radio Unibe 98.3 FM. And your Radio Unibe, forget about it.
Hello, my name is Amina Abisibanan, a media personality at Radio Windy Bay 98.3 FM. Kindly follow us on all our social media handles. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Follow us on www.uew.edu.gh. We are the ultimate in campus radio.
Hey there, welcome to Radio Unibe 98.3 FM. Seated right in front of you is Ampon Bismarck, so for short, Ampon B. Here we say we are the ultimate in campus radio. I entreat you all to be listening to Radio Unibe 98.3 FM. And your Radio Unibe, forget about it.
Hello, my name is Amina Abisibanan, a media personality at Radio Windy Bay 98.3 FM. Kindly follow us on all our social media handles. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Follow us on www.uew.edu.gh. We are the ultimate in campus radio.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. Now let's do business. Member of Parliament for Tano North, Dr. Gideon Bakon, has expressed alarm about the likely introduction of additional taxes by the John Dramani Mahama-led government in response to the elimination of the betting tax and levy. Dr. Bakon's remarks echo those of Dr. Kassew Atuforsen, the finance minister designate, who hinted that the Mahama administration would eliminate these levies in its first budget and make up for the revenue deficit with spending cut. Speaking to City News, Dr. Bakon highlighted concerns about the proposed measures. Consistency with the budgetary principles agreed upon the International Monetary Fund.
You may cut expenditure, but your debt service will be matched with revenue, which is a key component of the IMF program. So when you scrap the taxes, there's a revenue shortfall. You need an increased revenue to match the debt service burden. It is not a matter of expenditure. So how do you then increase revenue to make up for the shortfalls that you have created by scrapping the taxes? The IMF will insist that the only thing you can go around it is to introduce another tax. And he certainly indicated in his presentation that there are two ways to go about it. It is either you cut your expenditure or you introduce another tax. We don't want a situation whereby you give with left hand and you take with the right hand. They have to be explicit.
Still on business, according to the Energy Minister designate John Jinapor, the sector's debt has risen to $3 billion during his vetting before Parliament's Appointment Committee on Monday, January 13. He emphasized the sector's significant increase in liabilities, which he blamed to inefficient management and rising interest rate on current debt. Sports is up next with Caesar Abraham.
Hey there, welcome to Radio Unibe 98.3 FM. Seated right in front of you is Ampon Besmaku, for short Ampon B. Here we say we are the ultimate in campus radio. I entreat you all to be listening to Radio Unibe 98.3 FM. And your Radio Unibe, yeah, forget about it.
Hello, my name is Amina Abisibanan, a media personality at Radio Windy Bay 98.3 FM. Kindly follow us on all our social media handles. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Follow us on www.uew.edu.gh. We are the ultimate in campus radio.
Hey there. Welcome to Radio Unibe 98.3 FM. Seated right in front of you is Ampon Besmaku, for short Ampon B. Here we say we are the ultimate in campus radio. I entreat you all to be listening to Radio Unibe 98.3 FM. And your Radio Unibe, yeah, forget about it.
Hello there, good afternoon and welcome to the sports segment here on Windy News at 12. My name is Caesar Abraham. Now to our first story. The 28th Ghana University Sports Association Games, which officially opened on Monday, 3rd January 2025 at the University of Cape Coast, has now got into the phase of athletics, what others call track and field events. Today, Tuesday, the 14th January 2025, marks the final phase of athletics at the Biennial Sports Festival at the Gusa Games. One of our correspondents at the Games, Jennifer Anel Jones, interacted with Bright Fuga via phone regarding happenings at the Athletics Oval at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium. Let's connect with them now.
On the RPK, previous knowledge for athletics, and you take charge of the two for us virtually.
All right, so gradually, we are getting to the end of the 28th Busa Games, which started on the 3rd of January, actually, and is expected to end on the 18th. So gradually, we are getting, and most of the matches right now, both ball games and everything, most of the matches are in their quarter-final, final. It's also we are heading to the end. What happens to the match day 11 actually, and the athletics, the 2 of the 28th Busa Games. So yesterday we saw a couple of races that were held at the Cape Coast Stadium, talking about the one of athletics, but there is with athletics. We saw a couple of races, I would say, the races being run in athletics. Well, let's see how it was yesterday at the Cape Coast, and let's see the effect of UE on that matter. Well, yesterday it was the 4x100 meters men, and within the 4x100 meters men, it was Eugene who came first, UCC second, and then UEW fourth. So unfortunately, we couldn't make it to the final of the 4x100 meters men. And with this year's good athletics work, today we are started to see triple jump women's final, 200 meters men and women final, high jump men's final, 800 meters men and women final, discus throw men's final, long jump men's final, and then the 10,000 meters, which happens to be the favorite of former athlete of UEW, William Aponsa, 10,000 meters men's final, and the 4x400 meters men and women final. Again, 100 meters, again, triple jump women final, 200 meters men and women final, high jump men's final, 800 meters men and women final, discus men's final, long jump men's final, 10,000 meters men's final, 4x400 meters men and women final. So that is the happenings right here at the Cape Coast in terms of athletics for day 2 of the 28th Busa Games.
Now on to our next story. Southampton manager praises Sulemana for his hard work in the last 20 days. Following the remarkable performance of the Saints FA Cup match against Swansea City, Ghanaian forward Kalmadin Sulemana has been commended by Southampton manager Ivan Juric for his work ethics and dedication. With a goal and assist in Southampton's 3-0 victory over Swansea City in the FA Cup match, Kalmadin Sulemana was the star of the show. Being Sulemana's first competitive goal in the Saints in more than a year, the performance represents a major turning point in his career. Southampton's manager Ivan Zurich praised Kalmadin Sulemana's hard work in a post-interview game. But he's noted that the young winger needs more confidence to reach his full potentials. That's all for sports in Windy News at 12. My name is Caesar. Next is international news.
welcome back from that short commercial break. Now to the international front. At least 16 civilians in Nigeria's northwestern Zamfara state have been killed in a military airstrike, apparently after being mistaken for criminal gangs. Residents told local media the victims were members of local vigilante groups and civilians defending themselves from armed gangs notorious for kidnapping people for ransom. The strikes targeted militant gangs in Zumri and Maradan areas, and the state governor, Dauda Lawal, offered his condolences to the community. The military has acknowledged conducting airstrikes, which it said had dealt a decisive blow to bandit terrorism villages in the area. Before we end the news, a recap of the stories that made headlines. Government revokes appointment of Minerals Income Investment Fund CEO Edward Nana Yao Cranton. Energy Minister designates John Jinapor announces government will not engage in sole sourcing for ECG private sector participation. And on the international arena, Nigeria military kills 16 civilians in airstrike. And that will be all for today's Windy News at 12. My name is Nana Ama Nyamike Baini. I did this with Caesar Abraham. Thank you for doing the watching. Stay tuned for more tomorrow. Have a good afternoon.